It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a game day edition of The Oil Stream, brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. The brand new location in St. Albert is on the verge of opening, so be watching for that here over the next few days as well. Well over a dozen locations now, home of the Popeye's Chicken Sandwich, the famous Popeye's Chicken Sandwich. Tommy, I apologize, man. You're looking so good today. It's game day. I'm sitting here in a Lock Shop hoodie. I'm a bum. You look terrific, though, man.
Thank you. You're on brand, though, so that's very important in this age of branding and selling your own brand and being your own brand ambassador and making sure that everyone's aware of your brand and that on Instagram they know that you're a brand and a person, but a person some days and a brand other days. So good job.
I try to stay on brand. That's a very good point, Tommy. Mm-hmm. All right, we got lots to get to. Game day versus the Washington Capitals. Caps have won 3 in a row, scored 14 goals over that stretch. Oilers have lost 3 in a row and have not been scoring goals at a rate that you would like to see, especially on special teams. So we'll get to that in a second as well. But you are the Edmonton Jersey insider, buddy. And what's the latest? What's going on? You told me you got a tidbit. What is it?
A good tidbit. So the NHL is reintroducing the reverse retro program next season.
Whoa.
And look for the Oilers to bring back the Todd McFarlane jersey with a new look or a new color twist to it. So the Oil gear will be returning next year, and it sounds like it'll just have a renewed look and some new colors.
That's huge, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, McFarlane jersey, what years were what was that? Because that was before I rolled in.
Yeah, 2001 to 2007 is when they wore those.
Okay, so tail end. I mean, obviously during those.
Yeah.
Do people love those? Like from afar, from a distance, I was living in Lethbridge and well, pretty much Lethbridge that whole time. I personally wasn't a major fan, but I know that when we talk about jerseys and stuff, I do see a lot of people be like, God, used to love that McFarlane jersey. So do you think this goes over? Why are they bringing it back? Because it's going to be a huge seller?
I think it will be. And it has like a cult following, fittingly, because like many comic books, cult followings, this jersey kind of same thing and the story behind it. And people really liked it. It was the top selling third jersey or alternate jersey in the NHL for a while, like across the league. And even though it looked a lot like LA's jerseys from the 90s, the sprocket, until you saw it up close and saw it was actually navy blue and not black, it did really well. And so they're bringing it back next year for the renewed reverse retro look. Just expect it to have a kind of a different color scheme. Or
I was going to say, so they'll have the gear, but the color scheme might be a little bit different, more modern, like the more brighter orangers and blues types of thing. Is that what you're thinking?
That I'm not sure about. I suppose it's possible. I wasn't told anything about colors, just that expect the McFarlane jersey to come back in a reverse retro twist. So I'm assuming it's going to have some different colors to it. Won't exactly be like what we saw from 01 to 07.
That's big news today, buddy. I did not expect a McFarlane reverse retro coming out of your mouth today. That's big. People will be pretty fired up about. That's good. All right, special teams, we'll get to that. I want to get to Skinner here in just a second as well. But Paul Coffey popped up on the road trip, popped up here as well now. Tommy, I don't think Paul Coffey would have been around when Dave Tippett was running the show. So, it can't just be a coincidence that they bring in Woodcroft, who doesn't have much NHL head coaching experience, and now Paul Coffey all of a sudden is lurk around as well. What's going on there with him?
I'm getting deja vu flashbacks to 2018 when they brought him in as a skills coach at the end of the Todd McClellan era. And this strikes me as the same thing. He's advising right now, and we heard Jay Woodcroft mentioning, what Paul Coffey's doing, and he's kind of providing eyes and ears, if you will, to the coaching staff. Oddly enough, Paul Coffey doesn't have much NHL head coaching experience either. He is a Hall of Famer. He's a really good guy, and he has a wealth of knowledge, absolutely. But here we are again, and, I think it's more so him kind of being some eyes and ears for the owner. like the first time around, which is basically what he was doing as opposed to being a skills coach. Sure, he was on the ice.
Yeah, like it doesn't seem like Jay Woodcroft all of a sudden would be like, wow, a couple weeks in here, better get Paul Coffey's opinion on a bunch of stuff like that. That doesn't really seem to make sense to me, right? So I don't know how anybody could really pass it off as that. That doesn't add up.
Good instincts.
Yeah.
Good instincts, Dusty. Yes.
Huh.
You're onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could help the power play. Maybe there's. This is one of the greatest. I mean, in my opinion, the second greatest offensive defenseman of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he can help in some way, but it does seem weird to get a coaching change and Paul Coffey gets airlifted in. Like it's strange to me.
I also want to add that he was removed formally from the staff when Dave Tippett and Ken Holland were brought in as well. So. There you go.
I can do the math on that one, I guess.
Yeah. He's a really good guy, and he's
yeah.
cool to be around, and he's got great stories. He's funny, and he knows a lot about hockey. So he's around again.
I played with him, or played one game with him, played a couple games against him, I think in an Alzheimer's event. And
great event.
I remember he's still so smooth. It's like same with Dean McCammon. Like Dean McCammon can still fly. But I remember Paul Coffey. I must have only been here for like 2 or 3 years at the time. And Coffey swooped around behind the net with the puck and came flying right up my wing. I'm playing left wing. Comes flying right up my wing. And I kind of just sort of leaned back on the boards and just watched him go by like this, right in front of our bench. And the guys are like, "What are you doing, Dusty?" I said, "It's Paul Coffey. Like, I'm getting a look. What am I going to do? Stop him? I'm not going to stop him." I just kind of stepped back and just watched him fly right by. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on the ice, buddy. It was great. But at the time, did I think, hey, he should be popping in and out on the Oilers giving advice? That's not what I thought at the time. But man, was it it was nice to see him skate in person. Beautiful. Absolutely love it.
Thing of beauty. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right. Special teams, buddy. Let's go there. Power play. What do you do here? I mean, what are you supposed to do here right now?
Well, I believe it was brought up yesterday, and it may have been Paul Coffey telling Jim Matheson that back in the day, 2 passes and get a shot on net. And that seemed to work back in the 80s. I know hockey has changed immensely since 35, 40 years ago, but that concept, simplicity, getting pucks at the net, creating havoc in front might actually benefit this Oilers bunch because they keep doing the same things over and over and over again that it was so predictable on Monday night, Dusty, that we were watching the Flames basically know exactly what the Oilers were going to do and take pucks back the other way for scoring opportunities shorthanded. So it's been sloppy, ugly, and all of the above.
I would just like to see them focus on something besides just trying to get it to Draisaitl for a one-timer. Like it doesn't even seem like other guys feel open to giving it to him for the one-timer. It's like, if it comes up to the point, it's like, got to get it to McDavid, got to get it to Draisaitl. If it ends up down, like Evander Kane will actually be selfish a little bit and shoot the puck once in a while if it ends up on his stick. But I feel like you're just limiting yourself so much on the power play if everybody knows that it's going to be the 2 guys who are trying to generate everything. I mean, how are you supposed to keep a penalty kill on its toes if they're like, well, if it gets back up to the point, they're not going to shoot it. They're going to try to get it to McDavid or Draisaitl. Yeah. If they get it to McDavid, he's going to try to open up a seam to get over to Draisaitl. If it gets it to Draisaitl, he's going to shoot it. So it's so stagnant right now that it has to be, from an NHL perspective, obviously, easy to defend against. They have to change that up. Yeah,
I mean, I think it was really early in the season when that power play was on fire, and we were like, is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? Of course not. And I said, Dusty, it's probably going to be a cat and mouse game between the Oilers power play and penalty kills across the league. And the penalty kills across the league have adapted. They've studied the Oilers power play. The Oilers power play has not done anything to adapt in itself. And there's been no back and forth in this cat and mouse game. They're losing that battle. I'm not always right. There's some people that will let me know that I'm never right. And I actually got one there. So jokes on those that said I don't get them.
The thing with the power, like when it's clipping along at 45%, you're like, it's not going to be 45%.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there going, it'll probably settle in around 28, 29, 30, which is still amazing. I never thought in a million years it would completely fall off this poorly. What was it? Gregor had that article. What their special teams went from a combined 113 down to like 87 or something. It's crazy. So, I mean, with you have to be able to develop a power play that can work around McDavid and Draisaitl, and that includes involving everybody else, then that's what has to be done. So, yeah.
They tried a bunch. They obviously worked on special teams basically the entire practice yesterday, rare practice day, quick passes, working in tight spaces, and then they moved over to the other end where they opened it up to the full. They did a half ice drill, and then they moved it up to the other end of the rink for a full ice, full zone thing where they started with no killers, then 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that part of it was trying to get them some confidence. We'll see if it has any effect tonight, Dusty. But, man, I think Gregor had it too. The special teams, given how bad they are combined, the power play since, December is like at 17%.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
That's insane. All right, let's talk Skinner. Then we'll get to the Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. I kind of understand why they're going to Koskinen. Like, he has not been the issue in 90% of his starts here over the last 3.5 weeks. So he's been providing you with what you really need, which is average to above average goaltending for part of this stretch. So I get it. What I don't understand is their lack of willingness to try to get Skinner into the net. I thought maybe with Woodcroft we would see it a little bit more. I thought maybe Washington and back-to-backs might have been a spot to get him in here as well. I think Woodcroft was asked about it yesterday, and when Mike Smith might be back, maybe later in the week, they're hoping for him to return. I mean, you're not bringing Mike Smith back and starting him against Tampa. Like, you just can't possibly do that again. So, Tommy, what's the hesitancy, I guess? Like, are the numbers, because the numbers for Skinner are good, are the numbers not lining up with what we're seeing, like what they're seeing with the way that Schwartz or the coaching staff evaluates the way Skinner plays? Because I remember watching Skinner when he got that cup of coffee, as they say in the biz, last year, or the first time we saw him, and I was like, doesn't seem comfortable positionally. He seems a little bit out of control. Yeah. To me, he manages his crease much better than he did when he first kind of came up here. So I like what I see, but what am I missing here?
I'm at the point where I just feel like they don't want to put the burden on him and break him. You know what I mean? Like, you put all this pressure on him. You say, here's your crease because the other two guys can't get it done. But like you said, Mikko Koskinen's been adequate lately, which is great. His record is really good in the last 9 games. That's the only sense I can make of this situation, where he's done everything to the point where he's too good for the AHL. That's abundantly clear.
Yeah.
He's had success here in the NHL. He's done it in big games. And I feel like they are not ready to thrust him in there and just say, go kid. Maybe they're using the kid gloves on him a little bit, which is unfortunate, because now you've got a goalie in Mike Smith who's banged up or sick, whatever, and just playing awful hockey. Can't save anything. There's no point in even letting him try to find his game in these.
No, you're done. You're past that point. Like, you want to let Mike Smith find his game 20 games into the season and give him 4 or 5 games in November, sure, especially when they're 16-5. Like, you could have done that then, but you're past that point now.
You just can't do it. 25 games left. It's too many important games. So I think they're going to be forced into using Skinner. I was told that they're open to keeping Stewart up here for the good remainder of the rest. So
possibly
of the season.
three goalies as options.
Exactly. And we saw Niemelainen get sent down. I know he's having his first
the baby
child as well, and Broberg's played better, but I think that I think you're going to see more Stuart Skinner here going forward.
All right, let's get to your Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. Visit his website at kenrmorrison.com, 780-993-4815 if you're old school and you want to give him a phone call, or if you're modern and you want to send him a text. 780-993-4815. He's been a realtor for over 20 years, one of the best in the Remax in the city. Basically, dude's a Hall of Famer. I mean, it's that simple. Tommy, what's your question of the day?
All right, the Ken Morrison Remax Excellence question of the day is this. We're talking about the goaltenders. With 25 games remaining, Dustin Nielsen, what will the breakdown be for starts between these 3 netminders? How many does Koskinen get? How many does Stuart Skinner get? Does Mike Smith get any more in these last 25 games? What say you, my good friend?
Oh, this is I'll go 10-10-5. I'll just go 10-10-5.
10-10-5?
Let's go 10-10-5. Let's go. if Mike Smith's healthy, they're going to give him at least half of the starts that they would have given to him and Koskinen, I believe. Still, I mean, whether we agree with it or not, I think Ken Holland's got to be like, Smitty did it for us last year. I mean, look in the record book; it's right there. Like he's played well in the past. So, if it was me, it'd be like a 14-11 split with Koskinen and Skinner, whoever's playing well. But I could see 10. I'm probably even being generous, giving Skinner 5 here, buddy. Like I don't even think they'll find 5 for him if Mike Smith comes back and can stay healthy. So that might be a little bit of a wishful thinking just to see what they have in this guy. But what's your number? What do you got there?
I'm going in a different direction with this. I don't know if it's I want to see this happen or I think it's legitimately going to happen. I think the possibility is there if Skinner gives some quality starts to the Oilers, but I'm going to say 13 for Koskinen, 10 for Skinner, and 2 for Mike Smith.
So you're thinking, like in my mind, hearing your breakdown, you're thinking Mike Smith gets 2 more starts and they're not good, and then that's the end of it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just given what's happened with how
could be possible, buddy.
Goalie has performed and how crucial this time of year is and what's on the line for this club.
He could also get hurt and get shut down, with the way his season's gone.
Well, I mean, I even floated it out there, just speaking out loud. Why not just whatever's ailing him right now, because there always seems to be something bothering him, put him on the shelf. Don't even toy with the idea of playing him anymore because it's a lost cause, it seems like, which is unfortunate to say because he had such a good year last year.
I asked Noodles this morning on the Smash Hit Nielsen show, like, has he seen anything from Mike Smith that makes you believe that he's like close to finding his game? And there was no answer there. I mean, they're just, it's too bad. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough to see. I would like to see, I know everybody, we got people in the comment section saying, what about, what Binnington did? And why can't Skinner be that guy? And I mean, that's a pretty rare situation, but you never know. I mean, you could give them a little bit of a look. They don't need a goalie to steal every game for them. They need a goalie to just give them an opportunity to win. And Koskinen's done it lately. Skinner should be able to do it. Yeah.
Adequate NHL goaltending, as Joaquin Gage puts it.
Yeah, exactly. And if anybody knows about adequate goaltending, it's Gager, who will be roasting on May 13th for Kids Sports. So make sure you watch social media to get your hands on some of those tickets. All right, Tommy, before we go, Alexander Ovechkin coming to town. Interesting night for the Nielsen household because I've got a kid who idolizes 2 hockey players. Well, he talks a lot about Wayne, but he doesn't really know much about Wayne. But he idolizes Connor McDavid, and he idolizes Alexander Ovechkin. So we lined up tickets for the family, all 4 of us. We've never gone to a family game together, so we're going to go tonight. I've got nice seats. It's going to be great. But so I tell Marshall on Sunday, I'm like, and we got tickets to the Oilers game on Wednesday against the Capitals. And he's like, I don't want to go, Daddy. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I can't cheer for those 2 teams against each other. Wow. And when they played on TV earlier in the season, he didn't watch it. He's like, he gets too stressed watching his 2 guys. I said, I said, you can come and cheer for goals on both teams. And Mommy hasn't been to a game in a while. And we've never been. So we're going to go. And then last night at dinner, I sat him down. I said, listen, there might be some people booing Ovechkin on Wednesday night. I said, but it's just because he's the best goal scorer of all time and he's the best player on the other team, and that's why they're going to be booing him. So I know he's going to get the jeers tonight, understandably so, totally justified. I get it. I just hope it's not so bad that it like ruins my kid's night. I hope he can still enjoy the experience, I guess. Tommy, first of all, I think he scores tonight. And if he does, I'm on a -105. I took your advice today. I already bet it. It's locked in. Covers the entire night, actually, if Ovechkin scores. So part of me inside will be like, ka-ching. I think he moves past Yager tonight. I agree with you on that one. What do you think the reaction is going to be like? And obviously a very, very... What's the Ukrainian community here? It's like 150,000 or so. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, 149,000. Obviously,
he's brought it on himself. Obviously, so we're not defending the guy. But what do you think? What do you think it's going to be like tonight?
Oh man, part of me thinks that hockey fans will separate that element of it from him tonight. but because of how messed up everything is, everything that's going on in Ukraine, absolute nightmare over there. It's horrible. And his ties to Putin.
He deserves the heat, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to hear it. And it's going to create a odd atmosphere in the building, I think. There's going to be a weird tension. I feel like that'll be the case. And he will get that goal. I think it's going to be a mixed reaction. And just hopefully nothing stupid happens. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, this is not a soccer game in Mexico. Like this is.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is a hockey game in Canada. Like, people will be vocal. They're zoned out about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah,
he gets it though. He gets it. I mean,
I think he gets one tonight. He scored in 3 straight games, hasn't he? I think he's kind of heating up again. So.
And the Oilers are whipping boys for milestones and slump busters and
their penalty kill sucks. Even the best penalty kills in the league can't stop Ovechkin on the power play. You think the Oilers' penalty kill is going to stop him tonight?
Not a chance.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a fun one tonight. Tommy, what time do you get going? Pre-game show tonight.
Don Wheaton, GM on White pregame show, 5 p.m. Myself, Jason Greger, Matt Cassian, Connor Halley. No Strutty, but I think I'm going to get him some Popeyes when he comes over to do the show today. So
good. Yeah, if you actually do, I mean, if you do, it's great. Send me a picture of him with some nugs. That's what I want to see. That'll brighten my day up, buddy. That'd be great. All right, so that's going to do it for another episode of the Oil Stream, presented to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. If for some reason you haven't caught on yet, they're the presenting sponsor of the Oil Stream. Go pick up that Oilers meal. You get the sandwich, you get the nugs, you get the sides, you get the sauces, you get the drinks, and you get the Oilers puck for your collection as well. You can get that at all of the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen locations, with a new one opening up in St. Albert here right away. I got the VIP invite actually for Friday, I think. So I might drive out to St. Albert for a little Popeyes on Friday, buddy.
Yeah, lucky. I'm still looking for mine in the mail.
I'll just forward you the email. It's an email. You can come too. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. If you've been watching the live stream, hey, subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. We would appreciate the sub, as they say. Tommy, enjoy the post game tonight. It's going to be a good one. No matter what happens, I think it'll be a good one. We'll be listening for sure, and I will talk with you again on Friday. Okay, bud?
Pray for me, Dusty.